So since last year December, we have seen strength in the oil and gas sector, right, with oil prices inching up slowly, right? And of course, this year, February, end of Feb, we had the Russian-Ukraine war that started, unfortunately, that led to a spike in crude oil prices. And of course, this has led to strength in the entire oil and gas and energy and coal and mining sector, which is what we are seeing now as well. And of course, going forward in this year, I think this will be pretty much the sector that is in play, away from all the tech stocks, because we are still looking at interest rate hikes and all that. So this is pretty much the sector in play. So I've covered a few times in some of those videos talking about those Singapore stocks that is in this oil and gas and energy sector. So in today's video, we'll be looking through these stocks again. So these are the stocks right here: Bumitama Agri, Geo Energy Resources, Golden Agri Resources, Golden Energy, Rex International, RH Petrol Gas, and Samcorp Marine, right? So these are pretty much the 7 popular stocks that I get asked quite often as well. All right, so I've covered them previously. Let's take a look at where we are right now. Could there be a bit more upside? For some of them, we have even seen selling or some profit taking in the short term as well. So we see how each of them is doing. All right, we look at maybe crude oil prices as well to see what it is now. All right, before we dive into these 7 stocks, let's go. So this is crude oil price right here, trading at about $110. You can see that even before the whole Russian-Ukraine war that started somewhere around end of Feb right here, we were trading around that $50, $60, $70, started to push up in December, rising from like a 65 all the way to about 95 in about 1 or 2 months. And of course, when the Russian-Ukraine war kind of like happened, you can see we kind of like spiked up all the way to about $130, and we found some support around the $95 over the past like 2 to 3 months as well. So we are still holding above the $100 to $95, and that's why we're still seeing strength in the whole entire oil and gas sector. Even the energy sector, coal prices are still high as well, energy prices are still high. All right, and I would say that this is pretty much a sector in play. All right, so let's take a look at these 7 stocks right now. The first stock would be Bumitama Agri, which is one of those palm oil producer in Indonesia, right? So you can see that we kind of like broke this like 80 cents resistance level somewhere around April, right? Pushed to about the 85 cents, and then we saw it tank down. And the reason was because Indonesia kind of like imposed export ban on this palm oil, all right? And what happens was many of those producers as well kind of sold off as well because of this palm oil export ban. So we kind of like sold off, found a little bit of support around this 70 cents, consolidated above it for like about 2 to 3 weeks. And recently the government has announced that they can't leave their ban on this export of palm oil products, right? So that's the reason why we're still seeing strength as well. And I would say right now we are still seeing a bit of support coming in around that 70 cents. You can see this is the range right now, 70 to about 80 cents, and 70 cents would be quite a good support. You can see this is pretty much where we were holding, all right, since like February, all right? So it's about 3 months, and also where the longer term moving average line is as well. This is where the 100 days moving average is. You can see that we are kind of like approaching it and kind of push away from this long-term moving average, right? So it looks quite good, right? So I would say that bearing any negative news in terms of a further ban on palm oil products from Indonesia, I think this still looks quite okay in the longer term. All right, of course, if we break that 80 cents, right, this is what we tried to do, right? We kind of like broke that 80 cents somewhere in April, but of course we had the news that came out, we sold off. But if we break above that 80 cents, I think potentially up to 85, if that gives way as well, maybe upside can be reiterated higher, all right, to about the 90 cents. So that is pretty much the range right now. We are still seeing selling near that 80 cents, but let's see if we can break this 80 cents for a bit more upside. So we have covered Bumitama Agri, the first one. So let's go on to Geo Energy Resources and Golden Agri Resources as well. All right, so let's take a look at Geo Energy right now, all right, which is trading at about 0.475. So Geo Energy is actually one of those, I would say, firm uptrending stocks even before the whole Russian-Ukraine war started. You can see that we have been trading, I would say, gradually upwards since the beginning of 2021. In terms of the uptrend, the rates line, 100 days moving average, has been above this 200 days moving average blue line since like 2020 as well. So kind of like consolidated, move higher, consolidated, and kind of like move higher as well. So this is where we are right now, still above the longer term moving averages. Is where the 100 days moving average line is as well, around that 45 to 43. And I would say that this support would be somewhere around this 43 to 45 level. Why? Look at this right here. This was originally in October 2021, the resistance level. You can see when we broke this level, started to push all the way to 60 cents. So we kind of like sold off and we went back to this 43 level as well. So this resistance has turned from like a resistance to a support. You can see we rebounded once, we neared it, rebounded again, and this is where we are kind of like heading back again. So anything like near 43 to 45, I think that is where potentially we can see some bargain hunting again. Hopefully, we want to stay above that 43. All right, hopefully we see some good bullish reversal candle like what we see over here, something like a hammer, something like a bullish engulfing pattern. If we do see some bullish candlestick there, that could be a good sign of a reversal happening all the way to maybe around that 5.4 to 5.5 level. I think that is pretty much the resistance level. It was the support we have broken, and now that would be kind of like the resistance as well. So this is Joe Energy. I think anything above 43 to 45, hopefully this is where we can hold above, and also where the 100 days moving average line is as well. I think anything above this level, it still looks okay in the longer term. Okay, next stock, Golden Agri Resources. Also one of those good long-term uptrending counters since 2021. You can see forming what we call higher lows. We can also draw what we call an upward sloping channel support line, right? So the key here was this resistance at about that 28 cents that we have consolidated below, all right, last year, all right, and somewhere around like this year, February, we kind of broke that 28, went up to about 36, and we kind of like sold off as well. And the reason for it selling off would be the same news, like Bumitama Agri, Golden Agri is in the business of exporting palm oil products, all right, and with the Indonesia kind of government kind of like introducing this export ban just a couple of weeks back, that's where we saw a sell down as well, all right, and we went down to this support level again, right, that 0.28 support level. So I would say that a bit of support coming back around that 0.27 to 0.28, also where the longer term moving average line is as well. Look at this, right? The 100 days moving average is right here. This is the blue line, the 200 days moving average, and they're pretty much all over here as well. Look at this. This is where we neared, and then we started to see a rebound. So every time we kind of like neared this longer term moving averages, we kind of like push away from it, and we saw a little bit of rebound. All right, so this is what's happening right now. We have seen a little bit of a bargain hunting happening as well. Just last week, we kind of like rebounded from this 0.27 to 0.28. So let me just draw it for you. I think this is pretty much the support right now, 0.27 to 0.28, all the way to upside maybe about 0.32 first, a little bit of a resistance there, and then up to 0.36. So that is pretty much the range right now. I would say that if you can hold above that, 2.6 to 2.8, let's give it a little bit of leeway. It still looks quite okay in terms of the longer term uptrend, all right, and that's where it could be a potential rebound as well. So yeah, this is Golden Agri, one of those companies that is in the palm oil sector, all right, also to do with oil prices, with oil prices, crude oil prices pushing to new high, palm oil prices have also pushed to new high, and of course that's why the Indonesian government had to do export ban to kind of like increase their supply in locally, all right, because there was just not enough supply and prices were just going up too high, all right. So yeah, they kind of lifted the ban already, so I think it would be a good thing right now if we can hold above this 0.27 to 0.28 support level. Okay, next stock will be Golden Energy, right? One of those stocks in the energy sector as well. You can see that we have started to push higher since like March when we broke this like 50 cents. 50 cents was like a major resistance level. We sold off. I can see when we broke this 50 cents level, this support has turned. This resistance has turned to like a support level, and kind of like went up, came back down, supported above, and that's where the uptrend started quite aggressively as well. We broke that 60 cents, went up from 60 to 70, and now we broke that 70 cents as well. So this is the range right now. Let me just quickly draw it for you. You can see that the range so far has always been about like 10 cents range, from 50 to 60 cents. We consolidated for like about 2 weeks plus, and then we broke and we went from like 60 to 70 about 2 weeks again, and now we are back to this range. So another 10 cents range from 70 to 80 cents. That is pretty much the range right now, 70 to 80 cents. You can see that over the past 2 weeks we have traded lower to somewhere around that 70 cents, 71, and buyers started to come back as well, or kind of rebounded, and we are about 0.805. So it's kind of like attempting to break this 80 cents. So far, we have not really broke above this level, or maybe prices closing above this level. That would be a good sign of more strength. But each time it goes up, sellers comes back and push it back down. So not really a very, very firm move, I would say. So if we can do it, if we can break this 80 cents firmly, all right, with prices kind of like closing above over the next few days, I think that could be a good indication whereby buyers are prepared to take it higher to the next phase, and that is pretty much the next upside, 10 cents range again from 80 cents plus 10 cents, it would be like 90 cents. I think that is pretty much the range right here if we can get above this 80 cents. All right, so this is golden energy. It looks quite good. And you can take a look at this like upward sloping green line. This is the 20 days moving average. You can see that, you know, prices have been, you know, holding above this line, and this line is still pointing up quite nicely. You can see, right, price has been like supported above this line, and this line is still pointing up. So short term wise, the short term, I think it still looks pretty awesome. All right, in terms of the, you know, prices still holding above 70 cents and above this 20 days moving average, the short term upside can still happen. All right, so yeah, let's see if we can break this 80 cents to push even higher. So we have covered 4 Singapore oil and energy plays already: Bumitama Agri, Geo Energy Resources, Golden Agri Resources, and Golden Energy. Right, so just 3 more to go. All right, total there'll be 7 stocks that I'll talk about, and next one will be Rex International, okay, RH Petrol Gas, and also Samcorp Marine. So these are pretty much the popular oil and energy plays that I get asked quite often as well. So let's talk about Rex International right now. Okay, so this is Rex International right here, trading at about 0.28, right? So it was one of those good stocks that kind of like push higher all the way to about 48 cents. We saw a little bit of a selling there, and you can see that we broke this support level about 0.38, right? And there were some signs of weakness in terms of the short-term trend turning down, with prices breaking the 20 days moving average. Well, I broke this, you know, 38 support level. You can see right here it's a bit of a support level. We broke 38 and we came down to the next support level, which is about that 32 cents. So we were like consolidated from like March to May, about 2 months, from 32 to 38, and unfortunately we kind of broke this 32 cents support level as well. So back to where we were somewhere in November, December last year. You can see this was pretty much the support level we've seen. We rebounded about 2 times, 2 times about, you know, near that 26 level. So I think this is pretty much the support right now, 0.26, maybe 0.25 to 0.26. And yeah, it was originally the resistance. What you can see right here, resistance tend to support, right? And over the past 1 week plus, we have seen some bargain hunting coming out right here. So that is the range right now for Rex International, all right, 0.25 to maybe around that 30 cents to 32 cents. That is the upside. So hopefully we can, you know, consolidate here and hold above this 25 to 26 support. You can see this is like the support we are saying. Hopefully we can consolidate and, you know, breaking above like what we have seen over here. If we can break above that, you know, 30 to 32 cents, that could be a sign of a reversal happening again, like what we see here. When we broke that 30 to 32, you can see we kind of like went up, we tested, and then we started to push up and went up. So that could happen again. All right, if we do stay above this 25 to 26 support level and break this 32 cents immediate resistance level. Okay, next one would be RH Petrol Gas. I would say one of those more volatile energy and gas plays. Right here you can see that this was the resistance level since like last year at about 0.22, right? That was a really firm resistance level, and it's something like what we call an ascending triangle pattern breakout. So you can see when we broke this, like, you know, 0.22 resistance level somewhere around March, right? Early of March, we went from like 0.22 all the way to like 42 cents, and then we saw like some heavy profit taking, and we sold off, came back down, rebounded again. All right, so over the past, like, you know, 1-2 months, there was some support that was found somewhere around that 0.27 to 0.28. Just look at this right here, up, down, as it traded below that 35 cents. But unfortunately, over the past 1 to 2 weeks, we broke this 28 cents, so back to the original support level at 0.22 right here, right? So about 0.22 to 0.28, that is the range. And also 0.22 is also where the longer term moving averages are as well. So hopefully we can hold above that 0.22. I think that would be a good support, like, you know, what we have seen. Resistance, we touched, let me just show it for you right here. There was a resistance here, we touched, came down, touch, we came down, we neared it, we came down, and eventually look at this right here. When we broke this resistance, it went up. So it's kind of like a bit more emphasis on it, because the resistance at 0.22 has now turned to a support level. And if this holds, hopefully we see some as I say, good consolidation here, and if it does break above this 0.28, it could be a good sign of the reversal actually coming back again, and prices pushing up back to that 35 to maybe even that 42 cents level. Okay, next stock would be Samcorp Marine, right? So you can see that we were actually consolidating last year from about like 8 cents to 9 cents, and, you know, there was slowly some upside starting to come back. All right, we saw some changes in terms of the trend from maybe sideways to upwards when the moving areas all started to turn up. Look at this, right? The green line above the red line, and it kind of cross above this 100 days moving average as well, right? So when we broke this like 10 cents somewhere around March, it was a good sign. Of course, this was before the announcement of the merger with Corp, right? So that push up, all right, went all the way up to like above 12 cents, and of course, with the news coming out of the merger with Corp, we kind of like broke this 12 cents, right? Broke these 12 cents, and we sold off all the way back to the original support level, around 9 to 10 cents. So that is pretty much the range right now over the past like 2 weeks, from 9 cents to about 10 cents. You can see like moving up and down, and we have actually attempted to break this 10 cents psychological level over the past 2 weeks, but somehow sellers are still coming out to push prices back down. So I think that is still the range, right? 9 cents to 10 cents. I think we can hold above the 9 cents is still okay. Hopefully we find some stability above 9 cents as it consolidates. But what we want to see if is that prices which you kind of like break the 10 cents and stay above 10 cents, not just like go up and come back down, then it doesn't really count. That's what we're seeing over the past 2 weeks. So we want to see prices really staying and maintaining above this 10 cents psychological level. I think if that happens, it could be a sign of a good reversal in the short term, all the way back up to the 11 to maybe that 12 cents level. All right, so this is Samcorp Marine, right? One of those companies that was good, all right, in March, April, just before the news of the merger with Corp. Of course, with the announcement, people kind of like bought more of Corp in terms of the valuation wise, was not looking that attractive, and kind of like sold off as well on that news, right? But yeah, it seems like we have found some support, so let's see if we can break this 10 cents eventually. Alright guys, so there we have it. We have covered the Singapore oil and natural gas sector as well right here. These are the 7 stocks: Bumitama Agri, Geo Energy Resources, Golden Agri Resources, Golden Energy, Rex International, RH Petrol Gas, and finally Samcorp Marine. So I hope you have a clearer idea of where we are for each of them in terms of the levels, the support and resistance, why we sold off, and potentially where we need to actually get above to see some upside actually coming back and for the reversal to happen. Alright, so I hope you like this video, guys. If you do like this video, go ahead to give me a like as well. It will definitely help out the channel. And of course, smash the subscribe button if you have found some value in it. And in fact, these are the stocks that you're looking at, you're looking to buy, looking to get in, or maybe holding on to it, and you now have a clearer picture, right? So hit the subscribe button so that you will not miss out on any videos like this. And let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts, what's your biggest takeaway from this video, any thoughts on this stocks that I mentioned. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer each and every one of your comments as well. Choy here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.